Happy holidays, everyone. Really good Delaware State team coming in here. A lot of respect for Coach Waterman and their program. Watched them play a lot this year, including last night versus Wake Forest, and real challenge for our guys. I mean, three very, very good guards in Robinson, Tavares, and Munoz. Team with really good size, rebounds the ball very well. They're +6 on the glass this season, and do a lot of things that will pose a challenge for us tomorrow evening.
What have you seen from your ball club since getting back from Florida?
We've had a chance to obviously try and scrub that game out. We've put a lot of time into understanding the two areas that we really struggled in that game, which was finishing at the rim, number one, and defensive rebounding. I mean, allowing them 22 offensive rebounds ended up being the difference, including that big possession that Samuels finished with under a minute to go. So we've just spent time in those two areas, including other things, obviously, but a lot of time, and our guys understand where we fell short the other night.
They turn the ball over a fair amount, I think 14 times a game. How do you keep your team from seeing that stat and trying to overplay defensively because you don't want to obviously get caught?
Yeah, we're a stat team. Obviously, we're going to look at as we analyze with scouting and do those kind of things. But the reality is that another team's statistic is not going to change how we play. I mean, if there's something that they're really strong at, I mean, we obviously have to emphasize it, and we know we have to be better. They're a really good rebounding team. They're a very good defensive rebounding team. They're a good offensive rebounding team. So we know we have to be really strong to have a chance tomorrow night. If we see a team turns it over more, we're not going to change how we play. We just got to be better at what we do, trying to establish our identity.
Obviously, we haven't talked to you since the Florida game, so how do you think Cam played in his first game? Chemistry with the guys, especially defensively, would that be the team focus?
Yeah, I think actually defensively is where he was at his best. I thought Cam's defensive chemistry and everything he did was really good, and I thought offensively it was there too. The shot just didn't go in. Some of those shots he took, Cam makes those shots every day, and we know he'll make them. There's a lot of energy. I mean, you got to imagine there was a huge weight lifted off his shoulder. And honestly, in that game, he was playing not knowing what the scenario was going to be after that game and moving into the rest of the season. So there was a lot of angst and a lot of anxiety for him probably playing in that game. But the reality is that I thought he did an excellent job, especially defensively, and I think he will continue to get more comfortable. And the guys were happy to have him out there with them, which is a big thing.
You talk to the guys about trying to create their own momentum and excitement in a game like this because the students are gone.
Yeah, I think you always want to do that, Brian. I think that's really important, as special as our crowd is. You never want to walk into any game thinking that our guys are going to rely on the atmosphere of the crowd to get us going. But particularly maybe tomorrow night, I think you look around the country. I think last night I saw some statistic that something like 17 games, Division I games, were against non-Division I opponents. So, maybe scheduling, they schedule games because they know the crowd's not going to be there as much, but that's not really the philosophy that we have. I mean, I think this is a really good Delaware State team coming in. We hope the crowd is there and the energy is there, but because of time of year students, it may not be as packed, and we just expect our guys to be excited to play. But I think that's a really good point.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.